10 o'clock sharp.
All right, mate.
Let me go ahead and set this thing back up. It timed out on us.
Oh, why did you let it do that?
I don't know. You know, sometimes
I don't understand why you're talking this way.
I don't either. You know.
You know, you've got a bit of an accent.
I've got a bit of an accent.
You've got a bit of an accent.
I don't sound totally American.
No, I don't understand.
Boy. Let's see. I wish Nene was here. She does this like it's nothing to it. Okay. A little bit angle. There we go. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I hope that you're out there in Facebook land. Sometimes I put up a little notice, like a 24 hours ahead, that our program will be starting at 10 on Sunday. And it occurred to me very late this morning that I had not done that. So hopefully some of you are still coming. Hey there, Tarnay, how you doing? And good morning, Gilbert. Hopefully you're doing well. Good morning. And there is, oh man, oh golly, help me out. Yes, Joan.
Sister Joan.
Yes. Hello, Sister Joan. Where is Joan again? She's in Georgia, right?
I think so.
Yeah. Good morning, Joan. How are you?
Good morning. I'm fine.
We're glad you're here. We know you can't stay all the time, but we're always glad when you pop in. How you doing, Daryl?
I'm doing well, sir. How are you?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. Let's go ahead and start with a song. I have awakened in thy shelter, oh my God. And if it cometh in that seeketh that shelter, to abide within the sanctuary of thy protection and the stronghold of thy defense. Illumine my inner being, oh my Lord, with the splendors of the day spring of thy revelation, even as thou didst illumine my outer being with the morning light of thy favor. Illumine my inner being, oh my Lord, with the splendors of the day spring of thy revelation, even as thou didst illumine my outer being with the morning light of thy favor. morning again, everyone. And we see that we've been joined by a few more people in our Zoom stream. We see Farah, and we see Husham, and Giti is here with us. I don't know the other picture there, that beautiful picture of the young lady and the child. I don't know, I can't see the name. But anyway, it's good that all of you have joined us. And I see that Nini is with us. Miss you, babe. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and say, ask for prayers for Nini's family. They're going through some challenges right now. And Daryl, I got to tell you before we get started, it is good to have you back, man.
Thank you.
You and Nini just deserted me. Yeah, I mean, but Daryl, your family is having some challenges as well, and I'm going to ask for everyone to please lift Daryl and his family up in prayer, as well as Nini and her family. And today, we're actually going to revisit a topic that we have touched on and long time ago, very early in the pandemic. We actually, before we were doing things in a particular order, we actually covered this chapter before in Baha'u'llah's teachings on spiritual reality, Baha'u'llah's teachings on spiritual reality. But we're going to go ahead and again, cover this chapter because it's been a long time, and we can certainly make some new discoveries. You know what? I need to move that. Well, that's only on the Zoom, so I guess I don't know. It's bothering me that I can see that in our frame on Zoom. Yeah. Does it bother you?
No, not at all.
Daryl, you're too cool, man. I don't know why it's getting on my nerves. See, the thing is, we have our Facebook feed on a phone that is set up where in the Zoom stream we can see it, and it's getting to me. I will resist.
Okay.
So today we are covering chapter 5 again on Baha'u'llah's teachings of spiritual reality. And the name of this chapter is The Journey of the Soul. Daryl, have you ever wondered why are you here?
Well, I think anyone alive at some point in time wonders why they're here.
Yeah, having one of those existential moments where you wonder, why? Yeah, same here. Well, this chapter actually helps us have a bit of an understanding as to why we were created and why we have to live this existence. I do want to say that there was a term used in this book, which everyone I'm sure is familiar with, but I also have to admit that because of the way the term was first introduced to me, I only knew its meaning one way, and that is the word matrix. Okay. Matrix. I really didn't know what matrix meant outside of Neo and
the film.
Yes, exactly. I had no idea.
Okay.
And so, yes, I'll admit, I did look it up. And for anyone else who may have been like me and only understood it one way, matrix, which we're going to hit that word just once or twice, but it's an environment in which something develops. An environment in which something develops. And so the earth, and maybe the universe,
is a matrix.
Absolutely. Yeah. So with all that being said, we're going to be reading some passages from Abdul Baha, of course, and Baha'u'llah, and also one from Shoghi Effendi. I see Camby's joined us. Hello, Camby's. How are you out there? It's good to see you.
Good morning.
Wonderful. Thank you very much for your greeting, and it's wonderful to see Daryl and also our beloved Tony.
Thank you.
Good to see you too. All right, Daryl, this first passage by Baha'u'llah, would you like to begin for us, please?
Sure. No.
Stop. We didn't say a prayer.
Oh. Absolutely.
We didn't say a prayer. We have to say a prayer. Make firm our steps, O Lord, in thy path, and strengthen thou our hearts in thine obedience. Turn our faces toward the beauty of thy oneness, and gladden our bosoms with the signs of thy divine unity. Adorn our bodies with the robe of thy bounty, and remove from our eyes the veil of sinfulness, and give us the chalice of thy grace, that the essence of all beings may sing thy praise before the vision of thy grandeur. Revealed in thyself, O Lord, by thy merciful utterance, and the mystery of thy divine being, that the holy ecstasy of prayer will fill our souls. A prayer that shall rise above words and letters and transcend the murmur of syllables and sounds, that all things may be merged into nothingness before the revelation of thy splendor. Lord, these are servants that have remained fast and firm in thy covenant and thy testament, that have held fast unto the cord of constancy in thy cause and clung unto the hem of the robe of thy grandeur. Assist them, O Lord, with thy grace. Confirm with thy power, and strengthen their loins in obedience to thee. Thou art the pardoner, the gracious. And this is a prayer by Untitled Bahá'í. Now we're ready.
Okay, this is number 5, the journey of the soul. Know verily that the soul is a sign of God, a heavenly gem whose reality the most learned of men hath failed to grasp, and whose mystery no mind, however acute, can ever hope to unravel. It is the first among all created things to declare the essence, the excellence of its creator, the first to recognize his glory, to cleave to his truth, and to bow down in adoration before him. If it be faithful to God, it will reflect his light and will eventually return unto him. If it be faithful to God, it will reflect his light and will eventually return unto him. You have asked why it was necessary for the soul that was from God to make this journey back to God. Man must walk in many paths and be subjected to various processes in his evolution upward. Physically, to various processes in his evolution upward. Physically, he is not born in full stature, but passes through consecutive stages of fetus, infant, childhood, youth, maturity, and old age. Suppose that he had the power to remain young throughout his life. He then would not understand the meaning of old age and could not believe it existed. If he could not realize the condition of old age, he would not know that he was young. He would not know that the difference between young and old without experiencing the old. Unless you have passed through the state of infancy, how would you know that this was an infant beside you? If there were no wrong, how would you recognize the right? If it were not for sin, how would you appreciate virtue? If evil deeds were unknown, how could you commend good actions? Briefly, the journey of the soul is necessary. The pathway of life is the road which leads to divine knowledge and attainment. Excuse me. Without training and guidance, the soul could never progress beyond the conditions of its lower nature, which is ignorant and defective.
You know, as you were reading that, I couldn't help thinking of how we live in a society that, you know, really worships youth in certain ways. We revere youth, you know, and we strive to stay young or continue to look as young as possible. And I'll admit I'm as guilty as anyone else. But I'll also say that, you know, number one, this aging thing it's a tough thing to go through. You learn a lot of lessons, don't you?
Well, certainly not for sissies.
And you only learn the lessons by actually going through it. Could you imagine reading about aging, which of course nobody could write about it if we didn't know about it. But imagine reading about aging and feeling that I'm exempt from that. Yeah. And you'd also be exempt from the wisdom that comes with aging, from the wisdom that comes from the lessons that we learn in life and so forth.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Still, it's like I said, it's not for sissies. Okay, you want to continue?
Sure. In the beginning of his human life, man was embryonic in the world of the matrix. There he received capacity and endowment for the reality of human existence. The forces and powers necessary for this world were bestowed upon him in that limited condition. In this world, he needed eyes. He received them potentially in the other. He needed ears. He obtained them there, and readiness and preparation for his new existence. The powers requisite in this world were conferred upon him in the world of the matrix, so that when he entered this realm of real existence, he not only possessed all the necessary functions and powers, but found provision for his material sustenance awaiting him. Now, you're going to have to define matrix again.
I'm old, man. I don't remember. No. Matrix is, again, an environment, the environment in which we develop.
The environment in which
yes.
we develop things. So that just reinforces this.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
just so you know.
I'm fiddling with the camera because I'm trying to get a better angle. Keep on going.
All right.
This is why we need Mimi here. She's so good at this. I'm terrible at it, but keep going.
Therefore, in this world, he must prepare himself for the life beyond. That which he needs in the world of the kingdom must be obtained here. Just as he prepared himself in the world of the matrix by acquiring forces necessary in this sphere of existence, so likewise the indispensable forces of the divine existence must be potentially attained in this world. Remember, we're on this journey back to God, and because we're on this journey, we are acquiring those things that we need to go back to God in this world. What is he in need of in the kingdom, which transcends the life and limitation of this mortal sphere? That world beyond is a world of sanctity and radiance. Therefore, it is necessary that in this world, he should acquire these divine attributes. In that world, there is need of spirituality, faith, assurance, the knowledge and love of God. So in that world, I'll say it again, there is need of spirituality, faith, assurance, the knowledge and love of God. These he must attain in this world, so that after his ascension from the earthly to the heavenly kingdom, he shall find all that is needful in that eternal life ready for him.
Mm-hmm.
So if you ask yourself, why am I alive? Here's the answer. Because we're attaining all of these attributes that are necessary for our souls to progress to the next world. That divine world is manifestly a world of lights. Therefore, man has a need of illumination here. That is a world of love. The love of God is essential. It is a world of perfections, virtues, or perfections must be acquired. That world is vivified by the breaths of the Holy Spirit. In this world, we must seek them. That is the kingdom of everlasting life. It must be attained during this vanishing existence. We know that this existence is not going to go on forever. We are spiritual beings having a corporeal experience in this world. By what means can man acquire these things? How shall he obtain these merciful signs and powers? First, through the knowledge of God. Second, through the love of God. Third, through faith. Fourth, through philanthropic deeds. Fifth, through self-sacrifice. Sixth, through severance from this world. Seventh, through sanctity and holiness. I'm going to read all of those again.
I was hoping you would.
Because these are all key for advancement of our souls. How shall he obtain these merciful gifts and powers? First, through the knowledge of God. Second, through the love of God. Third, through faith. Fourth, through philanthropic deeds. Fifth, through self-sacrifice. Sixth, through severance from this world. Seventh, through sanctity and holiness. All of these are extremely important for advancement of our souls to the next realm.
Let's pause for a song.
All right.
Want to do choice wine? Sure. Because I got to tell you, as you're reading these, and we know what, the song Choice Wine is a reference to the revelation of Baha'u'llah. And by revelation, I mean the information that Baha'u'llah has brought to us. And he revealed many books and tablets. And for anyone who's never heard this song, or any non-Baha'is who are not familiar with the terms, you're going to hear some terms. And they are simply names of tablets that were written by Baha'u'llah, in which he gives guidance. And we are told that that is the main thing that manifestations or messengers of God do, is they give guidance from God to mankind. Bisharat, Tarazat, Tajalia, Yishrika, Kalimati, Edosie, Kalimati, Edosie, Bisharat, Tarazat, Tajalia, Yishrika, Kalimati, Edosie, Kalimati, Edosie, glad tidings, ornaments, effulgences and splendors, holy words of paradise, holy words of paradise, words revealed by my Lord, gift of life through my Lord, hidden words now revealed, choice wine now conceived by my Lord, now conceived by my Lord, now conceived by my Lord, now concealed by my Lord. In the writings of Baha'u'llah, it is written, the seal of the choice wine of his revelation hath in this day and in his name the self-sufficing been broken. Its grace is being poured out upon men. Fill thy cup and drink in his name, the most holy, the all praise. Tazania Ishrika Kalimati Vedasiye Kalimati Vedasiye Words revealed by my Lord, Word of God through my Lord. Hidden words now revealed, choice wine now unsealed by my Lord, 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 now unsealed by my Lord. Daryl, I want you to know something. You ruined this song for me. I cannot play this song by myself anymore. I can't. Without you doing your thing, I can't play it by myself anymore. It just sounds kind of, I mean, the words are still beautiful to me, but the music is kind of empty without you there.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
It just comes through me. I don't work it.
In other words, you're saying, I'm not even trying hard. Is that what you're saying?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Now, to continue, that song being Choice Wine, let's get back to the Choice Wine. You want to continue?
No, go ahead, please.
Okay. How are we doing on time? Okay, we're doing
Good.
okay. This is coming from Abdul Baha. How long shall we drift on the wings of passion and vain desire? How long shall we spend our days like barbarians in the depths of ignorance and abomination? Wow, two heavy questions. Makes me think of that Bob Dylan song. How many times? Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. And when are you going to get it? How long shall we drift on the wings of passion and vain desire? How long shall we spend our days like barbarians in the depths of ignorance and abomination? God has given us eyes that we may look about us at the world and lay hold of whatsoever will further civilization and the arts of living. He has given us ears that we may hear and profit by the wisdom of scholars and philosophers and arise to promote and practice it. Senses and faculties have been bestowed upon us to be devoted to the service of the general good. Senses and faculties have been bestowed upon us to be devoted to the service of the general good, so that we, distinguished above all other forms of life for perceptiveness and reason, should labor at all times and along all lines, whether the occasion be great or small, ordinary or extraordinary, until all mankind are safely gathered into the impregnable stronghold of knowledge. That whole thing about, and one of the precepts of this revelation of Baha'u'llah is the importance of universal education for all. Universal education for all. And so here we have Abdul Baha basically attesting to that. I mean, saying senses and faculties have been bestowed upon us to be devoted to the service of the general good, not just to ourselves, so that we, distinguished above all other forms of life for perceptiveness and reason. If you notice, he didn't say, hey, we got it going on every level. No, for perceptiveness and reason, right, We should labor at all times and along all lines, whether the occasion be great or small, ordinary or extraordinary, until all mankind are safely gathered into the impregnable stronghold of knowledge. We should continually be establishing new bases for, oh, I'm so glad we went back to this. I really am.
Yeah.
We should continually be establishing new bases for human happiness and creating and promoting new instrumentalities toward this end. We should continually be establishing new bases for human happiness and creating and promoting new instrumentalities toward this end. How excellent, how honorable is man if he rises to fulfill his responsibilities. How wretched and contemptible if he shuts his eyes to the welfare of society and wastes his precious life in pursuing his own selfish interests and personal advantages. Wow. Supreme happiness is man's, and he beholds the signs of God in the world and in the human soul if he urges on the steed of high endeavor in the arena of civilization and justice. I'm sorry, I got to read that again. How excellent, how honorable is man if he arises to fulfill his responsibilities. How wretched and contemptible if he shuts his eyes to the welfare of society and wastes his precious life in pursuing his own selfish interests and personal advantages. Supreme happiness is man's, and he beholds the signs of God in the world and in the human soul if he urges on the steed of high endeavor in the arena of civilization and justice. In quotes, we will surely show them our signs in the world and within themselves. We will surely show them our signs in the world and within themselves. Then Abdu'l-Baha goes on to say, and this is man's uttermost wretchedness, that he should live inert, apathetic, dull, involved only with his own base appetites. When he is thus, he has his being in the deepest ignorance and savagery, sinking lower than the brute beasts. They are like the brutes, yea, they go more astray. For the vilest beasts in God's sight are the deaf, the dumb, who understand not. We must now highly resolve to arise and lay hold of all those instrumentalities that promote the peace and well-being and happiness, the knowledge, culture, and industry, the dignity, value, and station of the entire human race. The entire human race.
That bears saying again.
Yeah. We must now highly resolve to arise and lay hold of all those instrumentalities that promote the peace and well-being and happiness, the knowledge, culture, and industry, the dignity, value, and station of the entire human race. Thus, through the restoring waters of pure intention and unselfish effort, the earth of human potentialities will blossom with its own latent excellence and flower into praiseworthy qualities. It's just a matter of getting up and doing it.
That's what it takes.
And it takes unity, and there's no individual that can do it all on their own. But we're told that if we all, I mean, he's using that general term, well, he's saying we must now highly resolve. Yes, we must now highly resolve to do these things for the good of all. And not that there won't be problems. Of course there will be problems. Of course there will always be challenges, but how do we overcome those challenges and hopefully prevent many of them? I mean, there are so many current examples
Yeah, well, there's a whole list back here.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's at least 7 items.
Yeah. Yeah. And there are so many current examples, even current examples where we can speak of, you know, the consequences of selfishness and greed and so forth. And, you know, unfortunately, we don't have time, and maybe this isn't even the place for that. But there are so many current examples where we have very vivid examples of this is what happens when people show disregard for others, or when nations show disregard for others. Anyway, I feel the impulse to go on a tangent, and so I'm gonna stop there.
That's not.
You want to continue, Daryl?
Sure. Live then the days of thy life that are less than a fleeting moment, with thy mind stainless, thy heart unsullied, thy thoughts pure, and thy nature sanctified, so that, free and content, thou mayest put away this mortal frame, and repair unto the mystic paradise, and abide in the eternal kingdom forevermore.
Wow. Before you continue, I'm just going to ask you, here's a quiz question. And there's no wrong answer, but here's a quiz question. Is there any particular phrase in there that really jumps out at you and seems to have, you know, impact more than others?
Any particular phrase?
Any particular phrase?
They are all important. No, there's not one. Is there one for you?
Yeah.
Which one is that?
Live then the days of thy life that are less than a fleeting
moment. Yeah.
I think of how I talk to my students sometimes, and we often talk about culture. And one day I was telling them about how even at this age of which we are now, still seems like their ages, 20, late teens, seems like it was yesterday.
Mm.
It just, it goes so fast. It goes so fast. Yeah. Anyway.
Well, this is his way of saying, life is short.
Yeah.
And it's kind of his way of saying, get over it.
Yeah.
Because
that's a good point.
Get over it. We could spend a lot of time being angry about things, resenting things, carrying around our unforgiveness of the things that people have done to us or done about us or whatever. We can spend a lot of time dwelling on those things, but life is so short.
Yeah.
Think about what good could happen in that same time period if we are doing the things that we're supposed to be doing to progress to the next life.
Exactly.
These are the new destinations of happiness that he's saying we should be looking for here, not dwelling on those things of the past that serve us not at all. So this is it. So I'll go on and finish this.
Please.
The progress of the soul does not come to an end with death. Did you hear that? The progress of the soul does not come to an end with death. It rather starts along a new line. Baha'u'llah teaches that great and far-reaching possibilities await the soul in the other world. Spiritual progress in that realm is infinite, and no man while on this earth can visualize its full power and extent. Baha'u'llah says, I send you death as a messenger of joy. It's a messenger of joy because at the point that we deposit this frame, we start a new journey.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something to look forward to. That's something to be happy about, because that journey, we know as a result of our teachings and our readings here, that journey is towards God. What could make you happier?
I have to add my own.
Okay, so there's nothing to fear about losing this frame, about ditching this life. There's nothing to fear.
I have to add my own little caveat. Also, you don't want to rush it.
Oh, right. Okay.
There's much to be learned here.
Okay. All right. O my servants, sorrow not if in these days and on this earthly plane, things contrary to your wishes have been ordained and manifested by God. For days of blissful joy and heavenly delight are assuredly in store for you. Worlds holy and spiritually glorious will be unveiled to your eyes. You are destined by him in this world and hereafter to partake of their benefits, to share in their joys, and to obtain a portion of their sustaining grace. To each and every one of them, you will, no doubt, attain.
So if you're wondering why we're here, hopefully, now you know.
Oh,
This life we share has good and evil too. Sometimes there's tears and sometimes laughter. Something to learn for everything you do. The soul you are is forever after. The soul goes on. The soul goes on. The soul goes on. The soul goes on. You won't be here forever. One day you'll have to go. From here to there, you're just switching places. You're leaving the physical and going to the spiritual. You'll get there and see familiar faces. The soul goes on. The soul goes on. The soul goes on. The soul goes on. Don't know what heaven's like. Don't need to know. Whatever it is, you'll see when you get there. Everybody's got some seed we won't just need to sow. Do what good you can now, don't just sit there. The soul goes on. The soul goes on. The soul goes on. The soul goes on. God tells us death is a messenger of joy. He says you got no need to grieve. Your last day here on earth is your first in the Bahá'í kingdom, when the prison of the body sets the spirit free. Creator gave you life, and man gave you a name. How you lived and learned is all you got. Let virtue be your wealth, and love all just the same. the soul goes on. The soul goes on. The soul goes on. The soul goes on. Soul goes on. And apparently, someone was wondering about, they wanted more information, so they were calling during the, I don't know if that came across on the stream or whatever. At this time, we're going to have some prayers. And so anyone who would like to share a prayer at this time, and of course, as always, we'd like to start with our Camby's moment. So, Camby's,
Yes.
You do have something to share with us, don't you?
Yeah, since we talk about God and this prayer, it tells us how we can make a relationship with God.
Wonderful. Camby's Rahani.
والله ای متوجه الله دیده به ملکوت غیب جبروت باز کن و به این مناجات آغاز نیاز کن. که ای مهربان تو صبر کن و بپوش خطا از ما عطا از تو جفا از ما وفا از تو گناه از ما پناه از تو بیماری از ما شفا از تو بپوش و بیامرز وفا کن پناه ده شفا بخش
cucumbers.